I'm just adjusting my seat. Sorry.
You were dancing is what you were doing. It's fine.
I was not dancing.
You should dance.
There's no
to
dancing. There
What
is
is
no
this,
dancing.
Footloose? All right.
Way too early for such things.
And
after that night we just had, waking up every 5 minutes, it seemed like.
People are going to be grumpy today. I think we need extra coffee.
Look, I like a good storm going through, like just if there's no damage or anything like that, thunder, lightning, and a nice shower. But that was a little bit intense around 3 o'clock, I guess it was.
Yeah, not nice.
Fortunately, I heard you talk about Frankie and the dog and being nervous. My two aren't too bad in that. Finnegan's nervous about everything else but storms, so
okay.
Go figure.
So there's a bonus. Mike, this is interesting. You are following what's going to be happening out of Billy Bishop Airport today.
Yeah, more planes taking off and landing. Basically, Melanie, it's back to work for hundreds of people who work for Porter and also Air Canada's Jazz regional service after 18, 19 months of being grounded because of COVID. The island airport's going to get a lot more busy today with regular scheduled service, Toronto to Montreal routes, and then expanding from there. So, a sign of return to normal, sort of on the waterfront. I always like going down to Queens Quay, just kind of taking one of the benches there, just, on a nice summer day, watching planes take off and taking off and landing. Very, very calming,
It is, right?
Sit by the water, one of my favorite parts of the city.
Porter is back. I love the hashtag. Very intense this
video.
There it is. Bank of Canada. We'll be watching with this interest rate. What do you anticipate is going to be happening?
Well, they're going to have to acknowledge what we're seeing in the economy, and that is some slowing signals. Consumer confidence numbers have been down four weeks in a row. That's not good. The second quarter economic expansion didn't really materialize. And they're going to have to talk about the Delta variant and how this has kind of slowed the pace of the economic rebound that we were widely anticipating over the course of the summer. They're not going to want to say much of anything, though, considering we're less than 2 weeks away from Election Day and don't want to get in the middle of that. Nevertheless, the economy, it's going to be one of the talking points in the French language debate, certainly tonight, and then tomorrow the English language debate for the leaders. And we'll see how it all plays out and if, in fact, the Bank of Canada can just kind of stay on the sidelines.
Mike, for you, when you go to a checkout, grocery store, retailer, do you go to self-checkout, or are you one of those people that really needs to go to a cashier?
Oh, boy. I try to avoid the self-checkout just because. I know it's one of these things that's like, I know that's coming, but at the same time, I kind of want to stay with the traditional checkout service.
Okay,
and also, I am terrible at bagging groceries.
What?
I'm putting eggs on the bottom and heavy things on. It's just a disaster.
Mike.
So
there's a whole strategy behind it.
I know there's a strategy for it.
Okay.
But I've never figured it out.
All right. So, I worked at a grocery store for 1 year when I was 16, and you learn things. 4011 bananas ingrained
I'm sure you would.
Yes.
But you talk about the self-checkout, and Amazon's taking this another step further, Melanie. 2 Whole Food stores are going to open next year. No cashiers whatsoever. And basically, customers take things off the shelf. Somehow the scanners in the store see what you picked up. And as you leave the store, you will be automatically billed to your Amazon account. Wave of the future.
It's interesting. But what if you have a question? What do you ask?
Well, they're going to have some staff there, some customer service representatives, but just no traditional checkout aisle section or anything of that nature.
Feels weird.
There's still going to have to be some people in the store.
Okay.
They'd probably like there not to be.
That's a whole other story. Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
Go get your coffee. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Okay, see you later.
Take care. 6:18 is what we're sitting at right now. Coming up next, it's a full-on Canadian tennis takeover at the U.S. Open. Coming up next, we've got 2 massive wins and what to expect in the semis. That's coming up.